All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. And today is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, the 8th of July, 2025. So, look, I just wanted to quickly share with you a little piece here on AUD USD, a little quick technical piece, because as you know, we got the interest rate decision from the RBA this morning, and it was a little bit of a surprise. To be honest, it got me, uh, off guard. And yes, I mean the bank decided to keep the interest rate the same as previous at 3.85. Sorry, stumbled there. At 3.85, the forecast was for a 3.6% decline, basically, or a drop to the 3.6, basically a drop by 25 basis points. But apparently, the six members were in favor of keeping the rate the same, and the three members were in favor of cutting. So at the moment, it seems like that the central bank might go for a cut during the next meeting. However, let's not rush into conclusion yet, because again, apparently things change very quickly. So look, but one thing we can be kind of sure about right now is AUD USD. And what I mean by sure is that at the moment, the AUD USD, the Australian dollar traders, Australian dollar bulls, are enjoying their moment right now because it's strengthening against its major counterparts. And well, you can see from the sharp reversal that we got here on the daily chart. Look at this candle yesterday. I was just talking in my webinar about this, and yesterday we were declining. I said, look, I'm going to lean towards this lower side of the rising wedge pattern, because again, at the moment, it seems to be that we are in this rising wedge pattern. So I'm going to be aiming for this territory. But okay, look, we didn't really exactly test the line, which coincides nicely with the 50-day EMA here, shown as the green line. So, but okay, it reversed. That's fine. It was a special occasion, let's call it this way, and we're pushing back up. Now, in general, what I said before, that I will remain somewhat positive about this while we remain inside the pattern. So as long as the pattern, as long as we respect the boundaries of the pattern, the trend could remain to the upside. Now, of course, somebody might say, hey, but what about a rising wedge pattern, which tends to break to the downside? In a way, yes. However, in this case, we look at the prevailing trend. The prevailing trend was to the upside. Well, the greater chance in this one theoretically could be a breakout to the upside. And additionally, because I also mentioned recently that I'm still somewhat bearish on the US dollar, and this is the US dollar index here, I'm still bearish on the US dollar because it remains below this downside line, this long term downside resistance line taken from the highest point of February, and also from the very short term perspective, it seems to be like it's trading within a falling channel pattern. So in a way, the trend remains to the downside. So look, for now, I'll say it this way. If given the whole tariff situation with the US, it seems like the US dollar could remain under selling pressure, meaning that we could see AUD USD actually pushing nicely back to the upside, kind of supporting this idea of higher levels. And also given that the stock market right now seems to be still okay. Yes, we had a little bit of a retracement yesterday, but in general, it's still somewhat positive. So, in a way, risk currencies such as AUD and NZD could still remain under some sort of buying pressure, or if we can call it pressure, but buying interest. Look, long story short, you got the message. Basically, at the moment, I'm kind of like this. I'm sticking more towards the upside. However, don't get me wrong, we could see a little bit of a retracement back down again, maybe a little bit of a correction. But as long as we stay within the boundaries of this pattern, I'm still positive. Or if you want to simplify this a little bit, as long as we stay above all my EMAs on the daily chart here, the 50, the 100, and the 200, I will continue targeting the upside. And if we do get closer to the upper side of this rising wedge, then again, it kind of increases maybe the chances of a possible breakout higher. Look, Since we reversed higher in the beginning of April, we're drifting nicely to the upside here. But I do want to kind of point it out that in a way, this move higher has been part of a larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that overall we're in a very downtrend here, in a very bearish move. So since March of 2021, we have been drifting lower, and only now, like as you can see, that after a sharp reversal like this, we started picking up here, picking up the pace, and traveling back to this downside line. So hey, I'm not saying anything. Maybe we'll go back and retest this downside line, and maybe this could be a chance for the bulls of this pair to break the downside line. And if they do break that, I think that this could be setting the stage for maybe some higher levels, maybe a move back to the 0.70 zone, somewhere there. But again, let's not over forecast this one. Let's go step by step. For now, we're seeing a beautiful reversal. Let's see if it can be sustained. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time. As always, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you later. Bye bye.